ഹായ് ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, വരാൻ പോകുന്ന എല്ലാ സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് എക്സാംസിനും ആവശ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റ് സീരീസ് ആയിരുന്നു നമ്മൾ കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ കുറേ പ്രീവിയസ് ഇയർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് നോക്കിയിരുന്നു. അതേപോലെ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് വൈസ് പ്രീവിയസ് ഇയറിൽ ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയുള്ള മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റ് സീരീസ് കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. സോ ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ എടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ടോപ്പിക് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ജിയോടെക്നിക്കൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ആണ്. GT റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ചോദിക്കുന്ന ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും അതിൻ്റെ തിയറി പോർഷനും ഓൾറെഡി കവർ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു വീഡിയോ അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചാനലിൻ്റെ പ്ലേലിസ്റ്റിൽ അത് അവൈലബിൾ ആണ്. കുറെ കൂടി എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ അതിനകത്തുണ്ട്. ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് മസ്റ്റായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന കുറച്ച് പോർഷൻസ് ഒക്കെ അതിനകത്ത് ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ അത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കാണാവുന്നതാണ്, ഉപകാരപ്പെടും. ഇന്നത്തെ വീഡിയോയ്ക്കകത്ത് നമ്മൾ മാക്സിമം പ്രീവിയസ് ഇയർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും അതിൻ്റെ ആൻസേഴ്സുമാണ് ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. സോ ഇന്നത്തെ മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അതിന് മുമ്പായിട്ട് ഇതുവരെ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല എങ്കിൽ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വീഡിയോസിന്റെ അപ്ഡേഷൻസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ലഭിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ആ ബെല്ലൈക്കൺ കൂടി പ്രസ് ചെയ്യാം. സോ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. ഫസ്റ്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ, the soil transported by running water is called. Options: Aeolian soil, alluvial soil, marine soil, lacustrine soil. Answer: alluvial soil. Soil transported by running water is called. Answer: alluvial soil. Lacustrine soil are those soil which are: options: deposited in seawater, deposited at the bottom of a lakes, transported by the running water, transported by wind. Answer: deposited at the bottom of the lake. Lacustrine soil are those soils which are deposited at the bottom of lakes. Glacial soil are those soils which are: options: deposited in seawater, deposited at the bottom of the lakes, transported by the running water, none of those. Answer: none of those. Glacial soils are the soils who are formed due to glacial deposits. So here options is not suitable for it. So answer: none of those. Chemical weathering of soil is caused by: option: oxidation, hydration, carbonation and leaching, all the above. Answer: all the above. Chemical weathering of soil is caused by oxidation, hydration, carbonation and leaching. So answer is all the above. Loam means: options: sandy clay with little silt, silty clay with little sand, sand, silt and clay, sand, silt and gravel. Answer: sand, silt and clay. Loam means sand, silt and clay. Peat composed of: options: clay and sand, decay vegetable matters, inorganic silt and silty clay, synthetic chemicals. Answer: decay vegetable matters. It is composed of decay vegetable matters. Black cotton soil is: options: a chemically weathered residual soil, a physically weathered residual soil, a colluvial soil, an organic soil. Answer: a chemically weathered residual soil. Black cotton soil is a chemically weathered residual soil. Residual soil are option sand, silts, clays, all of those. Answer all of those. Residual soils are sand, silt, clays. So answer is all of those. Soils are derived from options igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks, any one of those. Answer any one of those. Soils are derived from igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks. So answer any one of those. The ratio of the volume of voids to the total volume of soil mass is called options water content, porosity, void ratio, degree of saturation. Answer porosity. Volume of is the ratio of volume of voids to total volume of soil mass. That means VV by V. That is porosity. The ratio of the unit weight of solids to that of water is called options void ratio, specific gravity, porosity, degree of saturation. Answer option B specific gravity. The ratio of unit weight of solids to that of water is called specific gravity. The specific gravity of a soil is the ratio of unit weight of soil solid to that of water at a temperature. Options 4, 27, 30, 36. Answer 27. The specific gravity of a soil is the ratio of unit weight of soil solids to that of water at a temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. The specific gravity of a sandy soil. Options 1.2, 2.7, 1.8, 0.6. Answer 2.7. Specific gravity of a sandy soil is 2.7. Maximum size of grains of silt is about option 0.06 mm, 0.2 mm, 0.5 mm, 1 mm. Answer 0.06 mm. The maximum size of grains of silt is about 0.06 mm. Maximum size of grains of clay is about option 0.06 mm, 0.002 mm, 0.5 mm, 1 mm. Answer 0.02 mm. The maximum size of grains of clay is about 0.002 mm. The effective size of a soil is options D5, D10, D20, D60. Answer option B, D10. Effective size of a soil is answer option B, D10. The uniformity coefficient of soil is defined as the ratio of option D40 to D10, D60 to D10, D40 to D10, D40 to D20. Answer option B, D60 to D10. The uniformity coefficient of soil is defined as the ratio of D60 to D10. A soil having uniformity coefficient is more than 10 is options uniform soil, well graded soil, coarse soil, poor soil. Answer well graded soil. A soil having the uniformity coefficient is more than 10 is answer well graded soil. The property of the soil mass which permits the seepage of water through its interconnecting voids. Options capillarity, permeability, porosity, none of those. Answer option B, permeability. The property of the soil mass which permits the seepage of water through its interconnecting voids. Answer permeability. The law that states that laminar flow in a saturated soil, the velocity is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient is called. Options Reynolds law, Lacey's law, Darcy's law, Blaine's law. Answer Darcy's law. Law that states that the laminar flow in a saturated soil, the velocity is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient is called Darcy's law. When applying Darcy's law to the soil, it is assumed that the options soil is incompressible, soil is homogeneous and isotropic, flow condition are laminar, all the above. Answer all the above. When applying Darcy's law to the soil, this is assumed that the soil is incompressible, soil is homogeneous and isotropic, flow condition are laminar. So answer option D, all the above. What is the minimum water content at which the soil will just begin to crumble when rolled into a thread approximately 3 mm in diameter? Option liquid limit, plastic limit, shrinkage limit, plasticity index. Answer plastic limit. The most accurate method of determining the water content in a sample of soil is options sand bath method, calcium carbide method, oven drying method, alcohol method. Answer oven drying method. Most accurate method of determining the water content in a sample of soil is answer over drying method. Which among the following is a compression of soil mass resulting from a long-term elastic load and constant escape of pore water? Option compaction, consolidation, sedimentation, thixotropy. Answer consolidation. Name the process of obtaining the hand-cut samples from stiff cohesive soils which is trimmed to a regular shape and warped to get undisturbed samples. Option auger boring, percussion boring, rotary boring, chuck boring. Answer chuck boring. The boring process, which is obtaining the hand-cut samples from stiff cohesive soils, which is trimmed to a regular shape and warped to get undisturbed sample, answer chuck boring. If W the total weight of soil mass and Ws is the weight of solids, then water content is equal to options 1 plus W by Ws, 1 minus W by Ws, W by Ws minus 1, Ws by W plus 1. Answer option C W by Ws minus 1. The relation between the void ratio E, degree of saturation as water content W is equal to options E plus S equal W equal G, E into S equal W into G, E by S equal W by G, S plus E equal W by E. Answer E into S equal WG. The equation of A line is options IP equals 0.73 into WL minus 20, IP equals 0.73 into WL minus 10, IP equals 0.73 divided by WL minus 20, IP equals 0.73 into WL minus 20. Answer option A. Equation of A line is IP equals 0.73 into WL minus 20. Group index is based on options HRB, Unified Classification, MIT Classification, IS Classification. Answer HRB classification. So group index is based on HRB. The Highway Research Board classification of soil is based on options: liquid limit and plasticity characteristics, particle size composition and plasticity characteristics, shrinkage limit and plasticity characteristics, flow and plasticity characteristics. Answer: particle size composition and plasticity characteristics. So, the Highway Research Board classification of soil is based on particle size composition and plasticity characteristics. The intensity of vertical pressure by boussinesq equation at a point Zm directly below the point load is option: sigma Z equals 0.4775 Q by Z square, sigma Z equal 5 Q by Z square, sigma Z equal Q by Z square, sigma Z equal Z square by Q. Answer: sigma Z equals 0.4775 Q by Z square. The use of influence chart is suggested by option: Boussinesq, Newmark, Westergaard, Terzaghi. Answer: Newmark. The use of influence chart is suggested by Newmark. A soil having particles of nearly the same size is known as option: uniform soil, poor soil, well graded soil, coarse soil. Answer: uniform soil. A soil having the particles of nearly same size is known as uniform soil. Which of the following have an influence on the value of permeability? Option: grain size, void ratio, degree of saturation, all of those. Answer: all of those. Following which is influence on the value of permeability are grain size, void ratio, degree of saturation. So answer is all of those. Flow lines and equipotential lines are options: perpendicular to each other, parallel to each other, intersecting lines at 45 degree to each other, intersecting lines at 90 degree to each other. Answer: intersecting lines at 90 degree to each other. So flow lines and equipotential lines are intersecting 90 degree to each other. The decrease in void ratio per unit increase in pressure. Options: coefficient of permeability, coefficient of compressibility, coefficient of volume compressibility, coefficient of curvature. Answer: coefficient of compressibility. The decrease in void ratio per unit increase in pressure, that's called coefficient of compressibility. The seepage velocity VA is connected to the discharge velocity capital V and porosity N. Options VA equal V by N, VA equal Vn by 1 minus N, VA equal V into N, none of those. Answer VA equal V by N. That means seepage velocity equal to discharge velocity divided by porosity. The effective pressure at any plane in a soil mass is equal to options total vertical pressure, neutral pressure minus pore pressure, total vertical pressure minus pore pressure. Answer total vertical pressure minus pore pressure. So effective pressure at any plane in a soil mass equal to total vertical pressure minus pore pressure. For uniformly graded soil, coefficient of curvature is option 0, 0.5, 4, 1. Answer 1. Uniformly graded soil, the coefficient of curvature is 1. Dry density of soil is options always greater than saturated density, a ratio of the weight of soil to volume of solids, a ratio of the weight of solids to total volume, determined by strength text. Answer option C, ratio of weight of solids to the total volume. So dry density of a soil is the ratio of weight of solids to total volume. Bearing capacity should be calculated from criteria of option shear only, settlement only, both settlement and shear, cohesion only. Answer both settlement and shear. The bearing capacity should be calculated from the criteria of both settlement and shear. A shallow foundation is the foundation that has low bearing capacity as a depth of embedment less than its width, is resting on the ground surface, causes less settlement. Answer option B, has a depth of embedment less than its width. So a shallow foundation is a foundation that has a depth of embedment is less than its width. Floating foundation is a type of options well foundation, pile foundation, raft foundation, pier foundation. Answer option C, Raft foundation. Floating foundation is a type of raft foundation. Cohesionless soils are formed due to options: oxidation of rocks, leaching action of water on rocks, physical disintegration of rocks, blowing of cold and hot winds. Answer: physical disintegration of rocks. The cohesionless soils are formed due to physical disintegration of rocks. If plasticity index of soil mass is 0, the soil is option silt, clay, sand, clayey sand. Answer: sand. The plasticity index of a soil mass is 0, the soil is sand. The ratio of the liquid limit minus the natural content of a soil to its plasticity index is known as option flow test, toughness index, relative consistency, liquidity index. Answer: relative consistency. The ratio of liquid limit minus natural content of a soil to the plasticity index is known as relative consistency. The lateral earth pressure exerted by a soil when the retaining wall moves into the soil is known as option earth pressure at rest, active earth pressure, passive earth pressure, total earth pressure. Answer: passive earth pressure. Lateral earth pressure exerted by the soil when the retaining wall moves into the soil is known as answer passive earth pressure. The process of obtaining increased density of soil in a field by reduction of its pore space by the expulsion of air is known as option soil stabilization, soil exploration, soil compaction, consolidation. Answer: soil compaction. The process of obtaining increased density of soil in the filling by reduction of its pore spaces by expulsion of air is known as soil compaction. The process of maintaining or improving the performance of a soil as a constructional material, usually by the use of admixture, is known as option soil exploration, soil compaction, soil stabilization, consolidation. Answer: soil stabilization. If plasticity index of a soil mass is 20, the soil is option silt, clay, sand, clayey sand. Answer A. The plasticity index of soil mass is 20. The soil is clay. സോ ഇത്രയാണ് GT റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രീവിയസ് ഇയർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റ്. GT റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് അതിന്റെ ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള പ്രീവിയസ് ഇയർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും അതിന്റെ തിയറി പോർഷനും കവർ ചെയ്ത് ഞാൻ ഓൾറെഡി ഒരു വീഡിയോ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ അത് നിങ്ങളുടെ ചാനലിന്റെ പ്ലേലിസ്റ്റ് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. കുറച്ചുകൂടി എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻസും കാര്യങ്ങളും ഉണ്ട് അതിൽ. ഇതുവരെ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല എങ്കിൽ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. കൂടുതൽ സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടണമെങ്കിൽ ആ ബെല്ലൈക്കൺ കൂടി പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുക. വീഡിയോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രയോജനപ്പെട്ടുവെങ്കിൽ ലൈക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ മറക്കരുത്. താങ്ക്